Imagine AI that can learn and adapt like a living thing, constantly evolving and refining its skills. That's the really exciting idea behind Transformer, a new approach to machine learning.
Yeah, it's a pretty significant shift moving away from that traditional model of AI where you train a system for a specific task and then it's kind of frozen in its capabilities.
Right, it can't really grow beyond that initial training.
Exactly. Transformer, though, introduces this concept of living intelligence AI that can actually modify, its own structure and knowledge base to take on new challenges.
So it's learning and evolving as it encounters new information.
That's the idea. And in their paper, the researchers behind Transformer, they actually make this fascinating analogy to the human brain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they describe their technique as being kind of like a surgeon carefully dissecting the brain to understand it, how knowledge is stored and how to manipulate those intricate pathways.
I see. So it's like they're trying to map out the AI's knowledge structure in a way that allows them to understand how it learns and adapts.
Precisely. And that's where singular value decomposition, or SVD, comes in.
Okay, so how does SVD fit into this picture?
Think of it like this: a large language model, or LLM, has this incredibly complex brain of knowledge, right?
Right, tons of interconnected nodes and pathways.
Exactly. And SVD allows us to break that brain down into smaller, more manageable components.
So it's like creating a detailed map of the AI's knowledge.
A really good analogy. And that map is crucial for the two-step process Transformer uses to learn and adapt.
Okay, so walk me through those two steps.
The first step is task analysis. The model looks at the task you're asking it to do and breaks it down to understand what's required to solve it.
So it's figuring out the instructions before it jumps in.
Exactly. Then it moves into the task-specific adaptation phase. This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm all ears.
It uses a technique called singular value fine-tuning, or SVF, and it actually adjusts its weights. You can think of these as the connections in its brain to optimize for that specific task.
So it's rewiring itself in a way to be better at that particular task.
You got it. It's like training the AI to be a conductor of its own knowledge orchestra, figuring out which instruments to play louder or softer for different pieces of music.
That's a great analogy. So if we had a model that needed to be good at both math and understanding language, would SVF create different settings for those skills?
Yeah, precisely. It might learn that certain knowledge components are more important for math and others are crucial for language, and it can switch between these settings on the fly.
So it's not just good at one thing. It can adapt to different types of challenges as needed.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. And that adaptability really comes into play when it encounters something completely new, a task it hasn't specifically been trained on.
So how does it handle those situations?
They've actually developed 3 different adaptation strategies: prompt-based adaptation, classifier-based adaptation, and few-shot adaptation.
Okay, let's start with prompt-based adaptation. What's that all about?
Well, in prompt-based adaptation, you give the model a specific prompt that helps it figure out what kind of task it is and which settings to use from its repertoire.
So if I wanted it to write a poem, I might give it a prompt, like, compose a sonnet in the style of Shakespeare.
Exactly. That gives it a clear understanding and activates the right knowledge components.
Like giving it a gentle nudge in the right direction.
Exactly. Now, classifier-based adaptation is a bit more sophisticated.
How so?
You actually train a separate classifier model alongside the main transformer model. And this classifier is like an expert advisor. It analyzes the task and tells the main model which settings will work best.
So instead of a direct prompt, we have the separate system that guides the model.
Precisely. And then there's few-shot adaptation, which is really intriguing.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What makes it so special?
Well, in few-shot adaptation, you just give the model a handful of examples of the new task, and it uses those examples to figure out how to combine its existing knowledge to tackle the new challenge.
It's like it's doing a quick experiment to find the best configuration.
That's a great way to put it. And it's surprisingly effective. Now, of course, the big question is, do these adaptation strategies actually work in practice? What kind of results are we seeing?
Right, the theory is all well and good, but does it translate into real-world performance?
Well, they've tested Transformer on a wide range of tasks: math problems, coding challenges, logic puzzles, even some visual understanding tasks.
Wow, that's quite a variety.
And what they found is that it consistently outperforms traditional fine-tuning methods like LoRa, both in terms of efficiency and its ability to achieve really high performance.
So it's not just adaptable, it's actually better at these tasks than previous approaches?
Exactly. And there were some really fascinating findings along the way.
Like what? What really stood out to you?
One of the most interesting things was that when it was faced with really challenging tasks, it didn't just rely on the knowledge you'd expect it to.
It was thinking outside the box, so to speak.
Exactly. For example, with those complex math problems, it wasn't just using its mathematical knowledge.
It was pulling in information from other areas.
Yeah, things like coding and logical reasoning. It was approaching the problem from multiple angles.
So it wasn't just a one-trick pony. It was integrating different types of knowledge to find a solution.
That's right. And that cross-domain knowledge integration was something they observed across multiple tasks.
It sounds like we're starting to see hints of what true artificial general intelligence, or AGI, might look like.
It really does. This idea of AI that can fluidly use knowledge from different domains to solve complex problems is incredibly exciting.
Absolutely. And it raises some very interesting questions about the future of AI development, for sure.
It's fascinating to think about how this shift towards living intelligence and AI might reshape various fields like scientific research, just for one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can imagine having, an AI research partner that could analyze huge data sets, identify patterns that we might miss, and even, help design experiments. It could really accelerate discoveries in so many areas.
Yeah, medicine, materials, science, climate change research, just to name a few.
Exactly. And it's not just about analyzing data that's already out there, right?
No, it's not. This kind of adaptable AI could also help generate new hypotheses.
Oh, wow. So it could actually guide researchers towards new avenues of exploration.
Yeah, exactly. It's like having an AI colleague that's constantly learning and evolving alongside you.
Pushing the boundaries of knowledge together.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I'm also curious about how this technology might, influence creative fields.
Yeah, could a system like Transformer actually contribute to art or music?
That's what I'm thinking. We tend to think of creativity as this uniquely human trait.
Right. But what if an AI could learn and adapt the way Transformer does?
Could it develop a sense of, aesthetics and understanding of what makes a piece of art or music compelling?
That's a really interesting question. It really challenges our understanding of both AI and creativity.
It does. But think about it. If we can train a system to understand the nuances of language, the complexities of music,
Right, or the visual elements of a painting.
then maybe it could actually contribute to the creative process in some way.
It's certainly a possibility. And it really underscores how profoundly this technology could change our world.
It's pretty mind-boggling when you really think about it.
Yeah, imagine AI systems that can compose symphonies, write novels, create entirely new art forms we can't even conceive of yet.
It's incredible. It makes me think about, the relationship between human creativity and artificial intelligence.
Yeah, how will they interact and influence each other?
It's definitely a relationship that will need careful consideration as we move forward. And speaking of guidance, with any powerful technology, there are potential risks and challenges.
Well, absolutely. We have to be very mindful of those.
So what are some of the key things we need to consider as we, venture further into this realm of living AI?
Well, one of the most important things is making sure that these AI systems are aligned with human values and goals.
Right, as they become more capable of learning and making decisions on their own.
Exactly. We need to build in ethical frameworks from the start.
We need to make sure they don't, develop objectives that could be harmful to us.
That's right. It's about guiding the development of this technology to benefit humanity as a whole.
It sounds like that will require ongoing dialogue and collaboration.
Oh, absolutely. Researchers, ethicists, policymakers, the public, everyone needs to be involved.
We need to make sure the development of living AI is responsible, transparent, accountable.
It's a complex and evolving landscape, that's for sure.
And it definitely demands our attention as we navigate this new frontier of intelligent technology. It really feels like we're at this turning point in AI, moving beyond just seeing machines as tools to something more like a collaboration or even a partnership.
It is a pretty remarkable shift, and it makes you rethink how we design and develop these systems.
Yeah, it's not just about making algorithms better at specific tasks anymore.
No, it's about creating an environment where AI can learn and adapt and evolve in a way that works with human capabilities.
It makes me wonder if we're embracing this idea of AI as a partner.
Yeah.
Discovery and creation. How do we make sure that the knowledge and insights we gain are accessible to everyone?
That's a really important point. We don't want this technology to make existing inequalities worse or create new ones.
Right. Everyone should benefit from these advancements.
Exactly. Open access to the knowledge and the tools is essential.
It's a reminder that the technical stuff is only one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, we have to think about the social, ethical, and economic implications too.
And create frameworks that make sure this technology aligns with, our values and aspirations as a society.
Absolutely. And that needs a multidisciplinary approach, bringing together experts from all sorts of fields.
Not just computer scientists, but ethicists, social scientists, policymakers, community leaders, everyone.
Everyone needs to be at the table to make sure we're considering all the angles.
It's really like we're not just building a new technology, we're shaping a new relationship between humanity and artificial intelligence.
I think that's a great way to put it.
And if we do it right, it has the potential to unlock incredible possibilities.
I completely agree. And I think Transformer, with its approach to learning and adaptation, gives us a glimpse of what might be possible in this new era of collaborative intelligence.
It's been a fascinating deep dive into Transformer and the future of living AI.
I agree.
I think we've only scratched the surface of what this technology can do.
It's an area full of possibilities and challenges, and one that I think will keep pushing us to innovate for a long time.
Well, to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Transformer and the future of living AI.
Thanks for having me.
We hope this conversation has sparked your curiosity and maybe even inspired you to explore this incredible field a bit further.